So there's a lot of things you actually want to see in Valorant, and today I'm Fatman. Be sure to subscribe for more Valorant content. Be sure to help me out with that, and I can help you out. But anyway, we're gonna be talking about the 5 things we actually want to see in Valorant. These are gonna be 5 things we actually want to see in the patch 1.12, but it could also be something that we want by the start of the next year, so maybe Q1 of 2021. I think that could potentially be very much likely. I can totally understand they can't fix everything at the start, but hopefully, seeing how Riot is a pretty much great team, we can give them time and they can provide us an awesome product that is Valorant. Now, the first actual thing I want to see, because this agent gets picked so much, it doesn't matter if it's unrated, it doesn't matter if it's deathmatch, it doesn't matter if it's Spike Rush, or, you say it, competitive.
Revive me, Jett, revive me. Jett, revive me.
Jett is still one of the most broken agents in the game, and reducing her power could be the positive for the game's competitive balance. If we just nerf Jett, people will have to pick other duelists. You know, we don't have to buff other duelists because we can instead just nerf single duelist and have a huge advantage with that. Jett has been one of the most picked competitive agents, and not because she's a mascot of Valorant, but I guess her fan of knives is still super strong after the nerf.
Access to, and the way that Jett can use her abilities in a very aggressive way and get around smokes and over smokes and take very aggressive duels without even needing to feel any kind of pressure. Because if you get flashed, if you get jiggled, if you miss your shot, you can literally press one button.
The one way we could actually nerf Jett is by nerfing her operator use, which would be very interesting because you can't nerf the operator for a single agent. So one thing that could come an example is the dash would kind of be less, prevalent. It would kind of dash you either more slowly. So for example, you can dash through, if you want to escape a risky situation, either more slowly or a shorter range. Now, the next nerf I could see is nerfing the fan of knives a bit more. So either it not hitting it on the long range, so a damage drop off would be great. And the other potential is that the knives just fall off on the long ranges. Like, this should be only a close weapon when you're equipping your operator and then you have to clutch with your knives. That should definitely be a viable strategy, not using your knives as an actual weapon itself, but Valorant has their own ideas of how to implement this. Now, this one is pretty important as well because we actually see it a lot requested, and you can see the people are still playing this agent and they're not doing good with it. When you're playing this agent, it's actually 4 versus 5. In most cases, 90% of the time, it's 4 versus 5. And can you guess the agent? Well, it's Viper. Viper needs some serious changes, to be honest. No, Riot keeps buffing Viper and she keeps underperforming. She's just not up for the power. Her abilities, I think, need a complete rework, just like they have in Overwatch when they, completely change the abilities. That's what could potentially work for Viper. She's got a high skill ceiling, like you need to master your smokes, you need to master your wall or whatever, but she needs even more help to become the top tier agent. For example, like, she definitely needs a longer duration for the walls, or she needs some sort or form of help with her abilities. Like, her abilities cannot block enemies in any way, shape or form. She would at least need 3 or maybe even 4 acids, which could potentially work. Like, they're not even dangerous. It's like a bubble gum, in my opinion. So they're definitely gonna rework on that for sure, and I definitely hope Viper gets some serious changes, because right now she's picked less than 1%, and that's not helping Valorant at all. If Viper gets some sort of rework, we can see her in competitive play, but in my honest opinion, her wall, her cloud, and her toxic spray doesn't even need rework. I think she completely needs new abilities that are a bit more fun to play, because instead you can just play Omen instead of Viper. That's just my thought, but we'll see what they do with Viper in patch 1.12. Now the next one actually has to be my favorite, although they're probably not going to be implementing it anytime soon. It's my favorite agent, and I definitely think Killjoy needs a few buffs. Killjoy has one of the most unique hits in the game, but she's not in great spot right now. Why would you pick Killjoy if you can pick Cypher? I still pick Killjoy because I can play it a lot better than with a Cypher, but Cypher's trapwires actually stop enemies, while Killjoy's abilities only hurt them, and her turret gives a bit of info. When the new nerf come out for the Sentinels, so for example, the 40-meter range, Killjoy will not be able to activate her abilities unless she's in 40-meter range. That will not look good. At least buff her turret at that point, because her turret barely makes any kills, or it doesn't even need to make kills, but more of help Killjoy in that matter. Upping her damage output could be more useful in all regards. Like 12 damage per shot is not that great other than for baiting your turret to actually get some kills. But looking at how fast they can shoot the turret, they can just spin around and shoot you as well. I guess for Killjoy buffs, I can't really see anything else than adding a second alarm bot, because that would be actually insane. 2 turrets would be definitely overpowered on one side. I guess, I'm just guessing, we could either get 1 alarm bot or the nanoswarms to be only 100. I think Killjoy compared to Cypher is not always a must pick as it should be, because Killjoy it looks really good. Like, Killjoy has a lot of potential to be in esports, but it doesn't get that much play, because why would you play Killjoy if you can play Cypher? Again, these are just my observations. We're probably not going to be seeing any Killjoy buffs, but I would be happy if our Killjoy mains got at least something. Now this one is what I really would like to see, and we'll probably getting sooner than you might expect. So patch 0.11 did not go as planned because they had to roll it back and fix the stuff. So what I'm suggesting is them actually creating a beta server for maybe the next patch could be rolled out more smoothly by creating some sort of a test version and not require hitting the emergency eject button and going where you did wrong and looking back at it. I think there's a lot of things you can actually improve with the rollout or how it works. You could even do it sort of like an Overwatch thing where you can first test the stuff, get info from the community, and then if the community really doesn't like something, you can improve it. Easy as that. Now this is definitely something that's been very controversial, but I'm hoping it will get improved in the long run. So skin sales. Yeah, skin sales, or perhaps might be a very small chance, but cheaper skins where there's some skins from battle passes that are basically exclusive, so you could buy a few months later. So for example, you could buy from season 1 battle pass, you could buy a specific skin, so the Kingdom Phantom for example, you could buy them for that price, for a cheaper price, for $5 to $8 to $10 like Fortnite has it. Or we could be getting a skin sale that, Valorant skins are already way too expensive for, average consumers. So, for example, those who are in second or third world countries, 80 euros or 100 euros is a lot more when the average wage is 800 to 1,200 euros. Versus someone living in Germany, Sweden, Finland, Netherlands, where the average wage could be 2,000 or 3,000, and 100 euros could just be a small effort. Also in US, if you live in US, in some cities, the average wage is $5,000 to $6,000 before you pay taxes, and it's actually crazy. If they could account in that, not by changing the prices, I understand. I still think some people deserve skins. That's what the battle passes are for. I think the battle passes are a great addition because it's really hard not to buy these battle passes, considering the content you're actually receiving. But Valorant skins are you know, way too expensive in comparison to other shooters. So for example, a CSGO knife is something like $60, or I don't know, $60 should be. And when you buy a CSGO knife, you can somehow sell it onwards, or give it to your friend, or trade it for something else, or sell it on the Steam community market, right? In Valorant, you can't do that. You can't sell the account, at least illegally, and the sale is always nice, and it would generate more revenue for Valorant or Riot in that matter. I think it would definitely help in all shape or forms. Adding new agents will be pretty much amazing, but one more bonus thing that we have to see before I stop the video is basically a creator mode or a movie mode. I think that would definitely be interesting on how it plays out. Just seeing, like, you know, making montages just like in Overwatch, I think that would be great. You know, we have montages for GTA, we have montages for Call of Duty. If they could do that in Valorant and actually looking into your older matches, I think that's definitely something I would use. You know, you could do VOD reviews or something like that and go for the bird view. Would definitely be interesting, and it will record where the smokes went, you know, where the mollies went, where the arrows went. It could look really good, and it could be great way for content creators to actually grow, those who actually do montages and who started with that, because it would make it seem really cool. You can see what Fortnite did with this, and they did grow a lot. They went huge, you know. Anyway, this is Fatman. Be sure to check out my other videos, and this is Fatman, sign out. Peace, guys.